Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 6. It is Tuesday and we are still working on this t-shirt quilt, and this is my vlog, my work along video for today. Today we're going to be assembling the left side border on this quilt. You can see all the little squares. Those are the things we're going to be filling in to construct the border from the top of the center part to the bottom of the center part. So let's take a look at all of the pieces. I've been pretty busy this morning pressing and stabilizing and appliquing and cutting all of these pieces out. So to make up this border, I have 9 different logos that are going to go throughout the border, and they are all cut divisible by 2. And this border is going to be 8 inches wide, so some of my pieces are 8.5 inches, and then some of them are 4.5 inches wide, and different increments in the length. And then I have several photos that we're going to add. So let's take a look at these. Because my border is going to be 8.5 inches wide, I was able to cut some of these photos and incorporate the white background fabric as part of the block. Remember from yesterday, all of the little pieces from the photo underneath will be captured in the seam allowance, and so that will be gone. And this block will be, let's see, 8.5 by 4.5. And I was able to do a lot of her pictures that way, so we have several pictures just like that. And then I have one that's like this that we appliqued to an extra piece of t-shirt material, just like I showed in yesterday's video. And if you have not seen that, if you're just joining in, I'm going to put a link to the playlist of this whole series, and so you can go back and check out that video pretty quick by going to the description box and clicking that link. So these are 8.5 by 4.5, and then I have the 4.5 by 6.5. So I was able to cut some from the photo paper, so I won't be doing any applique with these, and these will be sewn in just like the t-shirt logos. And then some we needed to trim because some of the photo was cut off to allow for seam allowance, and so some have been appliqued on, and I've already did the satin stitch around those, and those are all ready to go. So it's been a very busy morning, planning and cutting and stitching. So let me bring you in closer. I'm going to take a look at this grid, and we'll go over my plan of approach for piecing all of these pieces together. So here we are a little bit closer. Everything that is colored in orange is the top border, and we covered that in yesterday's video. So that's all put together and waiting to be attached. We're going to start over here at the very top of the left border where you see this number 2. And what I did is I just went through and counted my shirts and made a note of them. And then I took measurements and wrote down the measurements that I want to cut the logos. And so I had this list while I was cutting out all of the logos. And when I mapped everything out, I just put the number that coordinates with the shirt. So I'll have a reference of which one of these are which, because like I have 2 8x8s, and I don't want to get them confused. So I think today is going to be a pretty short video because we talked about how to adjust if you have to cut into your photos and how to put things together. So we'll just do a mock sewing how I plan to piece this border together, and then we'll come back when it's all together and pinned up on the design wall. But we're going to start with number 2, which is this pocket here, which is 8.5 by 8.5. And then everywhere, just like yesterday, you see the dot in the middle of the blocks. Those are photos. And so to the bottom of that, I can put 2 photos, just like this. These 2 photos will get pieced right in this seam, pressed, and then attached to the bottom of block number 2. right there. Just like that. And it's really that easy, and graphing it out makes it even easier. You see what needs to be done first before you can attach it at this 8.5 inch seam. So I'll make all this one unit, and then we can attach the number 3 t-shirt block. Then I have 2 of these longer 8.5 by 4.5 inch photo blocks. Then I have these two smaller 4 by 4 inch blocks will go together. Then another photo block, a larger t-shirt block, 2 photos, 2 more photos, another photo. We had a lot of photos in this side. And coming down here, see this whole big group of photos, and then at the very bottom I have 2 t-shirt blocks. I'll probably end up moving one of these, probably number 7, into the middle somewhere, just to break these up so that's not a whole large group of photos. And I usually like to do that so that your eye isn't drawn to one specific part of the quilt. And especially with the photos, you know, you try to look and see each one of the photos, and I really think breaking this section up would probably work, and I didn't really think about that when I drew that end. So I will probably end up moving this right in here somewhere. Other than that, I think it looks really good. And if you have any questions about how I'm using the grid and piecing things together, you can jump down to the comments section, and I'd love to help you out, and if I can. And so I think I will go ahead and start sewing. This should go by pretty quick, even though it's really long. It's not very wide, and so we're just doing simple seams and working our way all the way to the bottom. So let me go ahead and sew this together, and we'll come back when it's on the design wall, and we'll take a look at where we are after today. Here we are, Tuesday afternoon. I have attached the side border, so it is sewn on to the left side of the quilt. So we'll take a closer look, going all the way down. And it's just loosely pinned to the wall, so it's not even up there straight. And it's all wrinkly because look, we're off the design wall now and going on to the floor all the way down here, and it's folded under. Oh, there's my toes. It's folded under just a little bit, and there's going to be a border on the bottom of this, so fairly large. Let's back up without trying to shake you up too much. So it's early afternoon. I think I'm going to go ahead and make up the plans for the right side border that I'll probably sew together in the morning. And if I do that today, then I could get that together and possibly complete the bottom border tomorrow as well. So this is going to take a big chunk of fabric to put on the back of this quilt. It is fairly large. So there we are. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I hope you've had a fantastic day, and I've enjoyed spending a little bit of my day with you. We'll see you really soon. Bye, everyone.